lives stolen, despite the hopelessness that loomed ahead. They pushed and fought with their allies, like many of you are here today. They worked with their allies and demanded and won their freedom. Not only did they get their freedom, they flourished during Reconstruction. In 1867, this country finally recognized the right of black males to vote. Despite the threats and opposition against this right, they voted. 3 years later, in 1870, Huron rebels entered the United States Senate. Approximately a year later, Joseph Rainey entered the United States House of Representatives. These were 2 African Americans to serve in the U.S. Congress, and they took over seats that were formerly held by white slave owners. Joy cometh in the morning. During Reconstruction, over 2,000 African Americans held public office, from local level right through to Congress. They were able to do so through the power of voting. Joy cometh in the morning. We have come too far as a country to give up now. Yes, we still have a long path to travel, but that path has been paved by the blood of our ancestors, the blood of freedom riders, the blood of Martin Luther King, the blood of Representative John Lewis, the blood of countless others who sacrificed for us to vote and sacrificed for the passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. The sweat and agony and years of work of organizations like the NAACP to ensure the enforcement of the Voting Rights Act. We cannot despair because the results of this election so far does not look like what we expected. We cannot despair because we're not getting what we wanted, packaged how we wanted it. Despair breeds hopelessness. Hopelessness breeds helplessness, doom, alienation, feelings of limitedness. These are the emotions that many may want us, those of us that were out here on this lawn, those of us that have been and continue to march, those of us that spent time knocking doors, calling and speaking to voters, those of us that donated our resources for the security and safety of the greater public. They want us to despair and throw our hands up. They want us to adapt the thought that based on these early numbers, there's no sense in continuing to count the votes. But we cannot and will not allow every single vote not to be counted. We demand every single vote to be counted for Harlem rebels. We demand that every single vote be counted for Joseph Rainey. We demand that every single vote be counted for the rights of every immigrant that lives among us. We demand that every single vote be counted because that is what democracy looks like. We demand that every single vote be counted because joy cometh in the morning.